Recording in progress.
Hello, and welcome to Angel Talk Podcast with Brenda Hardwick. I'm a few days late because on Wednesday, after I had a session with a client, yes, I'm still doing sessions here in Portugal. They're all virtual because energy doesn't care about distance or walls. But after that session, we all decided that we needed to do COVID tests. And my son was positive. My son-in-law was negative, but he had symptoms. And I was just barely positive, which means I was positive. By Wednesday night, I knew I was sick. Now, I've had a shot, so I didn't think I was going to get it again. My doctor here insisted that I get the vaccine, and I was okay with that. So it's been a mild case. Today's Friday, feel pretty good. Actually been out, wore a mask, giving a quarter to other people. The girls have not gotten it. We're very thankful. We need them to stay well at least till next Wednesday. That's their last day of school, and they need to finish the year out. I thank you all for joining me today on Angel Talk. The music you hear in the background is mine. I paid for it. It is Silveggio Tones by Kev Thompson. You can buy it on probably anywhere you can buy music. I bought it on Apple. So, our topic for this month is trust versus panic. I'm only human. Yeah, it's like that. Trust versus panic. I'm only human. What do I mean by that? Well, I'm going to tell you. A few months ago I did, or maybe it was last year, why does it take so long? Well, I can tell you that there are things going on in my life here in Portugal that I have asked the angels input, and they've told me it's going to be all right, it's going to happen, but nothing's happened yet. There's been stuff that has happened. We bought our house. We got it. We had the money to pay for it. That was all with angel input because, I was asking. The whole time I was asking. But James still does not have a job. Damn it. And they keep saying, it's going to happen. It will happen. I want to talk to you about why stuff takes so long. When you're dealing with something that is all about you, it means it's a decision you have to make. It's something that you have to do. It's somewhere you have to be. It's people that you have to talk to or that you have to give something to or produce something for. Those are the easy ones. Those are the easy ones. Because the only person's free will the angels have to have any connection with is yours. Yours. Only yours. When it's only your free will, that's pretty easy. Because once you set your mind on having whatever it is done, on getting it done, on making it so, and then you give it to them, they can work with that. And they can usually be pretty quick on the uptake. But when it's something that involves the free will of so many other people, like James getting a job here, you've got the Portuguese government, you've got the Ordem de Médicos, which is kind of like the people that um, rubber stamp your documentation that says you're a doctor. Now, don't get me wrong. We have been here a year, and James started trying to get the information together before we got here. And he took an attorney with him the last time he went down, well, the time before, to the order. And she finally accepted his diplomas. I mean, come on. It's the United States. He's been practicing for 11 years before we came here. So, what's the problem? Portuguese bureaucracy. It has to be the way they want it, when they want it, and none of it makes any sense. But since when does any government's bureaucracy make sense? I mean, look at the United States. So, the angels keep pushing, keep trying. I've been told by several other healers, that it's going to happen. They keep telling me it's going to happen, so I got to believe, and I do believe. Whether we will be eating beans and rice when it finally happens, we're a bit nervous about. Now, granted, beans and rice here in Portugal is pretty good, and it's less expensive, and there's a lot of ways to spice it up that don't cost much. My income is helping. Yes, I have a pension, so it's helping. I'm glad of that. Couldn't be doing what we're doing right now without it. But I'd like to be able to spend some cash on what Grandma wants to do. Yeah, that's kind of where my clients come in. So yeah, I have a few clients, and I'm glad for you. I'm very appreciative of you. I also know that eventually it's all going to be okay. But there are so many free wills involved. The medicals. James even baked the secretary, or we're not sure exactly what her title is, but she's kind of like the gatekeeper. I could give you a few sci-fi character references that we've renamed her, but this is a public broadcast. I don't want to do that. He even baked her a cake and dropped it off, because his other desire is to have and open a dessert and whiskey bar. And that would be wonderful, because then all of the cakes and cookies and ice cream and gelatos that he makes here at home, we won't eat. Yeah. It's all good. I am not complaining. But, you know, our timetable, our schedule is not theirs. They know when things have to be. They know things when it has to get done. They also know what the hoops are he's got to jump through and what he has to wait for to happen. We know it will happen. When? Can't ask when. Their time moves differently than ours. So even if you did ask, you wouldn't get an answer you understood, or it wouldn't make sense. So, we trust. And that's the hard part. Trusting. Trust is very, very hard. Trusting that it'll happen when it needs to. We've got summer coming up. The girls are going to be out of school. And last year we took a really nice vacation. And we took them down to Setúbal, which is just 45 minutes south of Lisboa. And we stayed for a week in a castle. It was fabulous. It was a wonderful vacation. The girls enjoyed it. They climbed up the turrets in the castle and looked out across the city. Lisboa was below us, and Stubble was in front, and then Lisbon was behind that, so we could see it. We had some wonderful foods. We got to see dolphins. So we were really blessed with that trip, and it didn't cost us a whole lot of money. It costs, but it wasn't out of the realm of possibilities. Right now, because we've poured everything into being in our home, and we love our home, I'm broadcasting from my room this time, because I was going to do it from outside, but we've got a storm coming in, and it's not raining yet, but it's kind of chilly outside, so I moved back inside. The girls are on their way home. They'll be here soon. But you still won't hear them because my room and my space is away from theirs, which is wonderful. We've had visitors this week from the island. Goodness, whenever I get ready to say it, I can't remember. My friend Joy, who I used to work with in the U.S. when I worked at the state, before I was doing all this woo-woo stuff, she has moved here as well, and they arrived in November, and they are living on the island. It is oh goodness, I'll remember in a few minutes. Madeira. I don't know why I can't remember that. It's the same wood, name of wood, the same word for wood, Madeira. It's a cute little island. We haven't been there to visit yet, but now I have a place to stay when I get there because they bought a cute little house. But she came to visit, and we had dessert and drinks while they were here in Porto, because when they first came through on their scouting mission, which I highly recommend if anyone is going to try and move here or anywhere in Europe, go check it out first. Ask your angels where you need to be and where you should go and what you should do when you get there. But it was nice to see her and her husband, and I took them to a couple of places, and we had São João, which is the biggest holiday they do here, outside of Christmas and New Year's. It's kind of like our 4th of July, but totally different, but they do fireworks. And when they set off fireworks here, it's at midnight. Not sure where that came from, but that's what they do. So, I'm pretty sure that's where the kids, my son and my son-in-law, picked up COVID, because one of their other friends said that they picked it up there. So, anytime people gather, but it's not all the time, because I went to the beer festival and I didn't get it, and that was a week before. I tell you, have I called on the angels to help me feel better? Absolutely. That's why it was Wednesday when I felt sick. Today's Friday, much better. I know I'm still dealing with it, but I'm okay. I did take a shot, so my symptoms are way less than what they would have been without it. And the girls haven't gotten it, and if we can do it right, they won't. Your angels are always there. Trust in them. Try not to panic. And I know that's hard, especially when you're dealing with being unemployed and not having a job, like my son. Not knowing if the next month everything's going to be okay. Wondering how you're going to make it as far as what you're going to eat, because you still need to do that. How the bills are going to get paid, because you still need to do that. Trust. Panic doesn't do any good. It doesn't make it happen any faster. When you are panicking, your mind doesn't work, so what you could think of to do to help, you can't. You also, in the frame of panic, can't give it to them because you're worrying about it. You're trying to figure out how to fix it, how to do what you need to do in order to help the angels out. Panic doesn't work. And panic will hurt you. That's stress. It's a form of stress. You know, COVID's not going anywhere. And it's everywhere. It's not just in the U.S. It's here in Portugal. It's still in Italy. It's still in Germany. It's still everywhere. And it's continuing to mutate. So the fact that I still got it means it changed again. But it continues to get a little weaker every time, which is a good thing. I'm glad of that, because then you're not so sick. Then I'm not so sick. Will it ever get to where it's not something we worry about? Probably not. But I think we're where we can handle it now. If you're trying to find a new job, it'll happen. You've asked. I know you've asked. Let them work it. Panic doesn't help.
Recording in progress.
Panic doesn't help. It doesn't make it better. It doesn't make you feel better. It doesn't make anything happen faster. And panic builds. Worry, it builds. Give yourself a break. Trust them. Back off. You can continue to pray and continue to ask. When things come along that you can do that will help, do them. But leave the worry. Leave the upset. Cry the tears and then dry them. Let them do it. And hey, I know it's not easy. I know it's hard. But I also know that you can do it. I thank you for joining me here for Angel Talk. I hope you will join me for July's topic, which is summer means what? And who knows what that's going to be about, because they gave me that topic. Well, they gave me all the topics. So I look forward to seeing you next month. Please share. If you have a suggestion or have a question you want to ask, you can email me. If you go to my website, you can send me a message there, thelightofnature.com. It all spelled out, thelightofnature.com. But I'll be here every fourth Wednesday, or as close to it as I can get. And the podcast is going to evolve. I will have friends and other healers pitching in and helping. So keep an eye out. Thank you again. I look forward to seeing you next month. Namaste.